The mechanics around self-help. Again, self-help is another phrase. It's widely used. There's a number of self-help books that we can purchase, and there's seminars you can attend, and you can watch many examples of people who are helping themselves. And I just want to say that uh, first, I thank God for all the exposure I've had to what would be considered self help material and positive thinking. I am, on a personal level, I am a very big believer in educating oneself, educating yourself through books and reading, especially books that are encouraging and work to help yourself, so, i.e., self help books. I have read a number of self help books in the past. I'm not actively reading. I'm looking at the bookshelf I have here now. I'm not actively reading on a daily basis, but there's a reason why I don't need to actively read self-help books today. But back 20 something years ago, I was actively reading then. And I think the thing is, back when I was reading, I guess I can mention a couple books, Think and Grow Rich, and How to Win Friends and Influence People, and uh, How to Have Confidence and Power in Dealing with People, and a number of other titles that I could say, including both spiritual laws of success, and different books like that, which encourage you. And I have a number of books related to my own spirituality, where I'm learning from Christ and God, and it aligns to what I want to help myself. The reason why, at least a large portion of those practical self-help books I don't have to read on a daily basis today, is because I'm looking back. Those times I read planted seeds of greatness. Another book, they planted seeds that have grown over time. And what I've extracted from the idea of having a self-help book, and the way that I use self-help material, is I'm really an observer of the recommendations that are being made, the stories that are being told. I'm listening, and I'm seeing new things that I didn't believe would happen, like How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling is another book I read. And I learned some techniques that I had never thought about on how I could approach situations. And then I also kind of reflect, and because the personalities in each book are different, I try to figure, well, as I'm reading, I'm thinking, uh, how would I handle this situation, or what would I be doing? Wow, look at how they handled it. How would I handle it? And some of the books will prompt you they ask you questions that you answer. I read another one, Psycho-Cybernetics. Um, is another book where it kind of prompted you to write down your thoughts about yourself and belief in yourself. And yeah, I have a deep uh, planting of a lot of seeds in the form of books and things I was listening to, which are very encouraging. And I encourage anyone to try and discover, uh, for your own capacity, for your own soul, for your own spirituality, books that align to books and material that align to helping to encourage you, and will act as the same type of seeds that someone like me has been fortunate enough to be exposed to. And just recognize that I'm speaking from a strong self confidence based partly on the idea that these seeds have been planted that I can do anything. You can do anything you put your mind to. Like in one of the self-help books, where it says, what the mind of man can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. And then there's another version of that in a different book that I read too, what the mind of man. Man in this case is not just men, especially I want to highlight that it's really what the mind of a person, could be a man or a woman, what the mind of a person can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve with a positive mental attitude. So the books and materials from a self-help perspective have helped me unknowingly. I didn't know at the time, 20 something years ago, because I have some positive things and I had some negative things that I did, but I didn't realize how reading and just being exposed to the material would slowly over time create in me a perspective that grew more of the positive. Now, I know some people may have been listening to this and like, yeah, well, it's easier said than done. I know some people don't have the affinity to read self-help books. It's not something that I look forward to doing. The reason I got involved in looking at self-help books was thankfully I was involved in network marketing, and they had some recommended book lists that we could read. And my friend and I, we kind of competed against each other to read. I don't like reading. At least at that time I didn't. And that's how I got catapulted into it. And I know there's others that maybe from a personal perspective think it's kind of like hogwash, or it's wow, I can't. Where did that word come from? It's kind of like the guys and gals who've created these books are creating it so you can spend money so that you're making them rich, and I know there's a lot of perspective and be a jaded view, which may be the right view in some cases, depending on which book it is. But I know that can be like, self-help books are kind of they're not real in a sense to really help you. Well, I'm here to encourage someone and let you know from personal experience, I've been able to absorb, and I've had those seeds planted, and I can come out with quotes like I just did about what the mind of a person, what the mind of man can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. And they act as kind of like roots to self-confidence, roots to positive thinking. And it's allowed me to reflect on myself and know that, no, I'm not telling you that I'm perfect. I have a negative ups and downs emotions, and I have an emotional compass. All the self-help books in the world isn't going to stop me from getting upset if a car rides by, ride through a puddle, splash on my clothes. I'm still going to get upset. But what it does do is it plants seeds to help us as individuals balance out and make some level of decisions in the moment to help us to succeed and believe in ourselves, and overall have the best outcome of future situations, so that we actually do, hint hint, help ourselves.